So for this first week, we're going to take a look at what is the difference between method overloading and method overriding. So method overloading in Java is a common source of confusion, but it's easy to understand. So let's discuss about method overloading. Method overloading in Java occurs when two or more methods in the same class have the exact same name but different parameters. Now, two or more methods with the same name in the same class sounds simple, but what do we mean exactly by different parameters? Suppose we have a class called test class, and which has two methods, and both methods have the same name. The name is some method. These two methods would be considered to be overloaded if one or both of these conditions are true. How do we not overload methods? Well, it's also very important to understand that method overloading is not something that can be accomplished with either or both of these two things. So take a look at the examples of method overloading in Java, both valid and invalid. So when does overloading happen? Overloading happens at compile time. Something to remember is that overloading is a compile time phenomenon. That just means that the compiler determines whether a given method or methods are correctly overloaded, and if not, a compiler error is returned as shown in the examples above. What about method overriding? Well, overriding method is different from overloading methods. It is a derived class. If a derived class requires a different definition for an inherited method, then that method can be redefined in a derived class. This would be considered overriding. An overriding method would have the exact same name, would have the exact same method name, return type, number of parameters, and types of parameters as the method in the parent class. And the only difference would be the definition of the method. Here's an example of a method overriding. So when does overriding happen? Overriding happens at runtime. So let's summarize this. So the difference between overloading and overriding methods, when overloading, one must change either the type or the number of parameters for a method that belongs to the same class. Overriding means that a method inherited from a parent class will be changed. But when overriding a method, everything remains exactly the same except the method definition. Basically, what the method does is change slightly to fit in with the needs of the child class. But the method name, the number, and types of parameters, and the return type will always remain the same. And method overriding is a runtime phenomenon that is the driving force behind polymorphism. However, method overloading is a compile time phenomenon. So method overloading is done at compile time. So this is the first discussion that we're looking at for this week for Unit 1, Week 1, Module 1.